Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Iyetunde Adeyemi and I am a senior cabin crew member based in Lagos, Nigeria. Today's topic, do cabin crews get married? Do flight attendants get married? So if you're interested in this topic, you can stay tuned and watch till the end. Yes, flight attendants do get married and do start a family of their own if it's a priority for you. I know a lot of my colleagues that got married while on the job and they they now have families of their own. But the question is, how are you able to balance it? How are you able to balance the family life? Because most people have this idea that flight attendants are always working, like as if we never sleep, that we are always working. Now, left to me, this job is the most flexible job in the world. It's not a 9 to 5 job. It's a job where you work according to the timing of the flights. So how do you balance your family life and your flight attendant life? It's very easy. First and foremost, you need to make sure that you are married to someone who loves you and loves your career choice. Now, it's not every man that is going to like the flight attendant job. And so if a man tells you, I want my wife to be by my side every night, as I want to get back from work and meet my wife at home, he's not going to come out and tell you to your face that he doesn't like the job you're doing. You're going to see it in his words, in his actions. So I don't buy the idea when some people say that he never complained about the job while we're dating. No, he did. It's just that you are the one who did not take note of the meanings of the words he said to you. There are so many ways. Like if someone just keeps telling you that, don't you think it's better if you get a job that you go to work in the morning and come back in the night, and come back 9 to 5, go to work in the morning and come back, and you are always available at these weekends and public holidays. Those are the those are the signs. Like, or you know, you're dating someone and if they're unable to reach you at a certain time, like if they're trying to call you, you're unreachable at a certain period of time, and by the time you're reachable, they turn it into a quarrel. Why wasn't I able to reach you? Where were you? Every time you're always working. Those are all the signs. Those are all the signs. So the first step for you to do to balance, to be able to balance your family life and your career choice or being a flight attendant, is to marry the partner that loves what you do for a living. That is the first step. If he doesn't like what you do for a living while you're dating, he's not going to like it when you get married. He's not going to adjust when you get married. Whoever you see right now when you are dating, you're going to see times 10 of that person when you get married. Marriage doesn't change anyone. I've been married for, this year is going to make it 14 years. So I can tell you for a fact that marriage doesn't change anyone. Now, the second step. Now, if you have made the right choice of choosing someone who loves what you do for a living, and you just have to make sure that every time your roster comes out, your partner is aware of the times you're going to be around, the times you're going to be working, the times you're not going to be around. He should know. I'm not talking about your boyfriend. Everything I'm saying in this video is tied to someone you are married to. So because that is the person you have a covenant with, like a partnership with. So he's meant to be aware of your roster. I'm not going to be available Monday, Tuesday, so I'm going to be, you go through your roster together and you explain the roster to him so that he understands the roster. So he knows that, okay, at this certain time, my wife's not going to be around. At this certain time, she's not going to be around. You get, don't make your partner, he or she, to be the one to be asking, oh, when are you going to be off? When are you not going to be off? And no, It's not that. Both of you have to work together because it's both of you in this. It's a partnership. You let the partner know when you're going to be off and when you're not going to be off once your roster is out for most times the rosters are out for 2 weeks, some airlines a month. So you already know your schedule, although roster is subject to change. However, you know definitely well that your off day is your off day. The days you have flights, it could actually change, but you know that your days off are your days off. For the airline to take your days off, they have to have your permission. They have to you have to give them the permission because your off day is your off day. However, days that you're working, flights can actually change, whether it's an international airline or a local airline. Another way of balancing your flight attendant life and your married life is take to spend time together. Like during weekends, you can spend time whenever you're off, you're off. Don't use your like when you're off, use it and spend time with your family. Your off day is not the day you say you are going to one of your friends' house and you go and spend like the whole day in your friend's house. Meanwhile, during the week, you've actually been busy, you've not been available at home. So you like the 2, 3 days that you have, why don't you use like 2 days, spend time with your partner? If you have kids, spend time with your kids at home, and talk about issues, talk about things that you're unable to talk about because of the fact that you've not been around. So whenever your off days is the time you use in bonding with your family. Your off days is not the time that you use to say you want to go to this person's party, you want to go for this person's wedding. That's why most of the times we are not always available for every party and activity, except if the person has given the date like a month ahead, so you put it in your roster that, oh, this particular day I'm going for so wedding, but not the one that you just call me and, oh, I'm doing my party and maybe that day I'm off. You now think that I'm off. I guess no. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work. It doesn't work like that. Family comes first. Okay. So the most important thing, questions I always get asked, um, can you have kids as a flight attendant? Of course, you can have kids. I have 2 kids. However, some airlines always require that you work with them for a number of years before you start having kids. While some airlines are family friendly, the day you join them, you can get. It just depends on the policy of the airline. So make sure you know their policies regarding getting pregnant before you sign your offer letter. I know that with an airline in UAE is 3 years. I know that with one other airline in Asia is it's 5 years. So you make sure you know their policies, and if it doesn't favor you, if you're the type that you want to start family immediately you get married, if it doesn't favor you, well, all well and good. But I advise that for now, if you are still single, you don't have anybody in your life right now, that policy, no matter their policy, it shouldn't scare you away. Most important thing is start your career life. And in time, you never know. In 2 years, 3 years, who knows? You never can tell what's going to happen tomorrow. So definitely you can have kids. And I'm going to talk about how you're able to balance, because a personal experience of mine, I had my first, when I started international routes, my first child was 3 months old, my first international flight. And luckily for me, I have my parents here with me, and I also have my in-laws also here with me. So, but most importantly, I usually drop her with my parents and I go for my international flights. And they were both my in-laws, they were very, very helpful in helping me taking care of my daughter when I've had my first child. So it's always important, like, who before you start thinking of having kids, you have to think of where are you going to put a kid, where are you going to put your baby when you have to go back to work. You have to think about that. Do you want to have a living caregiver? Do you have a family member based around where you work, where you are? Talk about that, because that's very, very important, because it's very important where you're going to put your baby when you go back to work. So it's not something I can say, oh, this is it, because I can only tell you what worked for me. I was, like I said, I was lucky. My parents are here, my in-laws are here. Now, for you, you might be in a place where you don't have family members, and that is where you and your partner are based. So you guys will talk about it together, like what before you start, not just before you start having kids, where are we going to put the baby whenever we have to go to work. It's a very important thing. And that's why I say the first thing is marry someone who loves what you do for a living. Secondly, let your partner be aware of your roster. Let them know when you're going to be available and when you're not going to be available. And the third one, work hand in hand together to decide where you're going to put the baby when you have to go to work. I also talk about the fact that whenever you're off, those are the times that you bond with your family. Those are not the time that you say you want to go and visit who you want to visit. I'm not saying you can't visit, but always make sure that your first priority is your family. So I know you have gained something from my channel today, and I know for those of you who are asking yourself, I'm a flight attendant. Can I be a flight attendant and have kids, or will I be able to get married? Will any man want to marry me? See, like I say, not every man will like the flight attendant job. However, there's the one who is for you, who will love you for who you are and everything that comes with you. You only need to be patient. So have a wonderful weekend and a blessed new week ahead. Thank you.